And thanks for joining us for the news. Our top headlines for the morning. Board chairman of the Korle Teaching Hospital blames recent revelations at the pharmacy department on system failure. Victims of demolition exercise at Obom Kojonto are still homeless after 2 years. And Education Minister Deputy Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa reveals that only 21% of children who enroll at the basic level get to enter tertiary institutions at the end of the day. Now we bring you details of the news. The board chairman of the Korle Teaching Hospital has blamed the recent revelations at the pharmacy department of Ghana's premier hospital to system failure. A forensic report by A&D Associates led to the interdiction of the director of the pharmacy department as investigations continued. The board chair was speaking exclusively to Latif Idris of Joy News.
The Korle Teaching Hospital has had some bad press recently following the audit report by A&D Associates, who detected the leakage of over 900,000 Ghana cedis of financial misappropriation. The management of the Korle Teaching Hospital has since interdicted Mrs. Elizabeth Bruce and 9 other employees of the hospital. The board chair, Anthony Mauli Sala, says the unfortunate incident can be blamed on system failure.
We have a failure of the systems. So because of the failure of the system, Korle has not been able to deliver the desired outcomes because of the system's failure. So we are still experiencing the system's failure, but we are trying to solve the problems. Because when you go and you identify it, then you realize that how come this is not working, how come this is not working.
The situation is so endemic that a low-level employee at the pharmacy department, whose name is withheld, has also succeeded in embezzling 39,000 Ghana cedis in the heat of the investigation. This, the board chair says, is unacceptable and will do whatever it takes to recoup the embezzled funds for the state.
We are going to have cashless system in some strategic places whereby people will not handle cash. Cashless system, and then money is going to be paid directly to the bank, and it's going to be 24 hours and so on, so that the situation where people can have access to money and decide that, okay, they want to put in some, they want to take some, it's going to be gone. That one I can assure you, because that is one of the key components we want to do to block revenue leakage. If you look at 946,954, that's a lot of money. You can imagine the number of beds it can buy at Korle Hospital. And that's what saddens most people, because people come to hospital and they are turned away because there are no beds.
Among other things, the board chairman is hoping to run a regime where Korle Teaching Hospital becomes a self-financing institution that does not depend on government.
We turn our attention to education, as only 21% of Ghanaian children who enroll at the basic level get to enter tertiary institutions at the end of the day. This is because there are only 250,000 slots for over 5 million students who start school at the basic level. This was revealed by the Deputy Education Minister in charge of tertiary education, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, at the inauguration of the University of Ghana Distance Education ICT project here in Accra. You observe that Ghana currently has a pyramid with a huge base, a situation which needs immediate attention. It was one of the communities that really made news headlines in 2013, and today we add a prefix displaced to their name, the community of Obom Kojonto. Displaced residents of the community in the Greater Accra region are appealing to the Ghana South Municipality and other government agencies to assist them find a permanent place to live. These residents who were involved in a demolition exercise about 2 years ago have now sought refuge on a land allocated to them temporarily, which they fear could lead to a second eviction.
Over 500 residents of the Obom Kojonto community in the Ghana South Municipality were rendered homeless following the destruction of their homes by a private developer in 2013. The situation compelled affected victims to sleep in schools and to the way evicted by the school authorities. Almost 2 years after the demolition, a handful of residents have settled on land owned by a resident of Kojuman in the municipality. About 15 of the families now live here. Access to potable water, a place of convenience, coupled with the bad roads, is a challenge.
Oh, it's like this land is for Kujuma, and it's someone who has bought it just because of how we are just wondering about, and he picked us to stay with them. So actually, some places you must hide, some places someone will favor you to stay with him, you know, so that you relocate a place for yourself. Okay, some are just hanging around. At times you will wonder about before we made them. Some are in Obom town, some are just some villages around here. You know, when we are moving out some location before we meet, you know, they were just hanging around. Even the land to farm is also a problem. Why to sleep is also a problem. All these made us become very confused, actually.
Residents complain things have been very difficult since they cannot get jobs.
Nti obi mo ko pa ya na mo ha dem mo baby ya wuti obi dem boba na mo sisi kasika na nti mo ha nti ye dia obi anya ho to wo baby nti dia mo chi mo na wo sisi ya oh mama aduma ye ne ade e fo duma ne ye ekwaduma ne ye nti nye duma bia ne ye nti no na hwe because oba ko school bibia masa before be did mama
These residents, who used to be farmers, now serve as laborers on farms and construction sites in the neighboring towns.
Okay, maru kaka, maru jihu, maru hai holama. Mi maru mi la fiata mi kata kumika karaka. Maruku aglodoko mino. Tamino padi na marapo adora. Yuva yomia mitiba woni. Dok mi wana like koji na ga koji mi ti mu na mu aro mara glova wo dore ni aro amara no gbele do mo va pere nchi na we oku gara no na mara hotuma mi va kuna china ma mi honaga anamba skuba for them because mi ga put up papa ko muta anamba skuba for them the view.
For now, this is their only means of survival. Most children have been out of schools ever since the demolition exercise. Their families simply can't afford the cost of education.
Na jo wona na ma apatona marabo yo akhotuna brixmo ma va kokoni de ta pressure nya klu afnya ko top mon vira afnya to akwa ba da view tanu ko sku yi ko pa ko basanu ina mo ko top money crop on for Uchan, because Mokbe Manana. I will you Pagada Yanchia, Assembly Nina, I call you Vala, Glabo, an opera, and you baranami. I can you back over Assembly Planamila, who govern you to me gava a Jogavi Viera, me to me a Jogavi Viru Serafira, Cacastilla Bansla, who bought Mokio, Tiny Bato, Agava Coda, Gavajrana, Estila Mova Hapota, Nibaf Magicola, Munami Mopopo.
For now, all the residents desire is that the assembly honors its promise to relocate and support them to get their lives back. Matilda Pomaga, for Joy News, Obom Kujunto.
Well, the news team couldn't bring you that very story nearly. That was due to the bad nature of the road, and the Joy News vehicle got stuck in cake mud. And despite the efforts of the cameraman David Ankoma and driver, the car simply did not budge. And so as you can see there, in a typical Ghanaian hospitality, a passerby on a motorcycle helped dislodge the vehicle. Well, perhaps next time the team needs to take a four-wheel drive or a pickup instead of a saloon car. Also shows that drivers need to be cautious when they're applying the road as well. Economists have bemoaned the existing income inequality in Ghana, blaming it on the slow growth of the sectors of the economy that employ most of the country's labor force. They want government to diversify sources of growth and invest in fiscally sustainable social protection systems to ensure an even distribution of income.
Economic analysts offered solutions to income inequality during a lecture under the auspices of the Youth Professional Economists Network. Speakers said the effect of economic growth must be felt across all social strata, while government invests and creates opportunities to ensure equality in incomes.
Any economic rethinking for bringing the rising inequality gap Africa should focus on addressing the challenges of development. And therefore, when we say that we are developed, it means we are capable of improving our quality of life. Economic transformation promotes social development and inclusive growth by diversifying the sources of growth, creating job opportunities, promoting rural development, and enhancing human capital and productivity through strong health and education systems, as well as investing in fiscally sustainable social protection system.
For the analysts, the current growth drivers do not encourage an even distribution of income. They contend the average annual contribution of agriculture to growth, for instance, is low at 7.8%, although it employs over 57% of the total labor force.
The industry is contributing a little over 2% to the overall growth. And that means that industry is also not contributing much, especially if you look at the manufacturing sector. Manufacturing sector employs over 10% of the total labor force, but its contribution to overall GDP growth is just 0.2%. And that means that people working in the manufacturing sector will not be able to make income levels as fast as those in the services sector. It means that if we want to solve the income inequality problem in Ghana, we have to redirect resources to sectors that employ most people and then make those sectors grow as fast as practicable.
They are also calling for a linkage between the agricultural sector and industry through processing agricultural produce for exports.
We take you up north, where parents of Naswan community in the Bunkrugu-Yoyo district of the northern region say the community is in dire need of trained and qualified teachers to help secure the future of their children. Falling standards of education in the community, bad roads and inadequate access to clean water are daily challenges for residents of Naswan. We bring you a community report by Hashmin Mohammed.
Naswan is a farming community in the rural part of the Bunkrugu-Yoyo district with over 2,000 inhabitants. The community shares boundaries with Nyangpanduri and Pemale. Last year, the community became a haven for many displaced residents of Pemale and adjoining communities following communal violence between Kokombes and Bimobes over a parcel of land. The Naswan Community Junior High School has over 700 pupils with only 9 teachers. Out of this, only 2 are qualified teachers. The rest are volunteers recruited by parents.
It affects teaching and learning in the school greatly because since we have the KGs and then the KG1 and the KG2, books for KG1 will not be good for people in KG2. In the instances where there's no teachers, then we compel to box the children together. And then looking at the P3 and then P4, what we use for P3 will not be good for P4. Because there's no teachers, and we have to bring the children together. If you allow them to be sitting, they will be beating one another, causing a whole lot of problems.
However, the efforts of parents come with a price, which sometimes gets hard to pay.
Some of them are able to do that, but we feel if every class had a teacher, everybody would have been an English woman or boy. If you go to Panlori, Bumbong, Tambokurgo, and Sambusi that are within national electoral area, maybe they have only a teacher each who is appointed by the government, and the rest are volunteers. So certain times the children will have to even leave and go to Nalergo or Gambaga or somewhere to be suffering, because their parents will have to send food and other things because there is not enough teaching.
there are many other challenges in the community. Access to clean water, good roads, electricity, and healthcare is a luxury for many residents. Chief of Nasuan, Daniel Wazak, is unhappy about the lack of basic amenities in his area.
Rainy season, the nearby villages around this area, they are difficult. It's hard and difficult to cross and come to the market here. Even most of the time, when they are patients, how to send them to hospital is always a problem. And then the schools here too. The primary school, over 700 children with only one trained teacher. The rest are volunteers. GSS, 578 with only one teacher. So it's a problem to us.
The chief also revealed that the conflict in the Bunkrugu-Yoyo district is taking a toll on his people.
And more to the point, the conflict in the Bunkrugu-Yoyo district is disturbing us. But the Gambaga DC is intimidating us, and then he has helped to bring the temper cool. So we also want our blood barrier to come very soon. My senior chief, Pamela, is appealing to the government to come to the aid so the primary chief will return back to his home. So one Gambaga DC, he was even our mediator. So we want the government to help him so that he will still handle the issue for us.
However, the people of Nasuan believe good neighborliness is the key to survival under such harsh conditions. Issa Kalalik is a married man who wants to build a house, and his neighbors are going to help him achieve his dream. For now, he lives with his father. Issa Kalalik tells me he needs to build a house so he can leave a worthy inheritance for his children.
I was with my brother and married, but now I want to build my house and also be there with my family. So my brothers, senior brothers and elder brothers has come together to help me to build. Our prayer is that God should help us so that we finish it. We come and settle properly. So that even when he's also passed away, people will know that he died leaving a house and children. His children should be here safely.
Thank you. Hashmin Mohammed's report for Joy News.
Well, so that report will end the AM News on the AM Show.